Alex Berry, Senior Vice President at Neustar. Thanks for joining us today, Alex.
I'm excited.
Good to see it. It's the first time you've been on WHIR TV, so why don't we start off by learning a little bit about Neustar. Tell me what the company does and what you do.
Well, I'm the Senior Vice President of our Internet Infrastructure Services Group, and Neustar provides neutral third-party and essential clearinghouse solutions to communication service providers and enterprises throughout the world. So companies take advantage, or we help through our solutions, companies manage their churn, their subscriber growth, their interoperability, their network optimization, as well as consolidation in the industry. And that's really our core business. We also are helping companies as they migrate from the classic circuit switch network to more of the internet protocol and 3G networks. And that's really how Neustar got its foundation and start. My business is the Internet Infrastructure Services Group, and we provide Ultra DNS service, which is a managed external DNS service, as well as a web metrics product line, which is our performance monitoring business.
You just mentioned Ultra DNS and web metrics, and you guys are one of the world leaders in DNS, Ultra DNS. So why don't you kind of delve a little further into that? How did you get to that point?
Sure. So we, Ultra DNS actually started about 10 years ago and was acquired by Neustar about 3 years ago. And we are the world's leader in managed external DNS, and we provide companies with the ability to manage their external DNS through a SaaS offering. Currently we support about 20 million domains worldwide, and that represents about a fourth of the internet. From a growth perspective, we've seen tremendous growth. We've grown our business about 20% year over year. In spite of a very challenging 2009, we had a phenomenal growth, and we'll see growth upwards of 20% again. And we provide, really 4 key areas of business: the managed internal and external DNS for companies. We also have traffic management services, load balancing services as well. We have professional services for companies that are looking at all things DNS, and we also provide a recursive DNS infrastructure as well, which supports large ISPs and enterprises.
So, and these are your customers, large ISPs and enterprises?
Yeah, we serve about 3,000 customers currently. Interestingly enough, in spite of some of the headwinds that we've had, we're adding about 100 to 150 new logo customers, ranging from your large enterprises, Fortune 50 companies, down to your web application companies that are taking advantage of our service.
So who specifically would benefit from going with Ultra DNS?
It ranges, but I mean, this might sound a bit funny, but really anyone who generates revenue over the internet or has a significant web presence. So I can give you 2 examples, and I think real-time examples of companies that benefit from our service. One is a company called buyonlinenow.com, and they're a Rochester, Minnesota-based company that is like an Office Depot. They provide office supplies online, and they really started as a internet retailer and built out their infrastructure and grew really fast. They do about $40 million a year in revenue of office supplies. And we're having a great deal of success, but they decided early on to manage their external DNS internally, and built up their infrastructure, went out and got the ISP connectivity, they got their software, they hired the folks to manage their external DNS, and were going around pretty well until they had a catastrophic outage. And they didn't have redundancy, they didn't have the ability to quickly switch their traffic to another data center, et cetera. And we looked at that as an opportunity, contacted them and told them about our integrated service delivery network, our ability to have 100% uptime, to transfer their business to us, and they did that. And not only were they able to see dramatic increase in performance, reliability, and security, but they've also in the last 3 years not experienced 1 second of downtime. So their CIO, Nicholas Dibble, has commented that every hour that they're down is about $20,000 in revenue. So when they were down for many hours. We were able to provide them with not only a better performance, reliability, and security, but we were also able to give them a great return on their investment. So that's one example of a company that does business with us.
It's a good example.
And then I think another one, which is interesting as well, is Kelly Blue Book. And I don't know about you, but you're from Toronto, so I don't know if you when you were looking at cars, or when I was a kid actually, when I was looking to become an owner of a car for the first time, I'd run down to the local 7-Eleven and look at the Kelley Blue Book. It was actually a book where you could look at the cars.
Like an auto trader
Exactly,
kind of idea. Okay.
exactly. And so Kelley Blue Book has moved most of their business now to the internet, and they've seen tremendous growth. But their core business wasn't internet infrastructure. And so as they grew and their business grew, they became concerned that they were running out of ability to manage this on their own. So we approached them, provided them with a solution. But their challenge was that they had already invested so much internally and they were growing internally that they were concerned that it was going to cost them too much money to transition to Neustar. So we provide them with a great total cost of ownership and a great return on the investment. We explained to them the experience of our 3,000 other plus customers from a performance, reliability, and security angle, and they gave us a shot. And not only have they experienced tremendous uptime and no outage and no issues around their performance, but we also commissioned Forrester Research to come out in June and talk to them about the ability and the return on the investment, the total cost of ownership. And what Forrester found was pretty phenomenal. One is that the return on the investment that they received was about 215%, or a 1-month payback. So that's a pretty good opportunity for us to it was something that we were real excited about it. So when I said at the beginning, really a lot of companies, there's really tens of thousands of companies that can take advantage of our service.
So can you get into a little bit more about WebMetrics?
Sure. Well, WebMetrics is a company we acquired about 2 years ago, and what we provide through that service line is web performance monitoring and load testing capability, which enables companies to simulate traffic before there is a problem. So a great example is companies here. The Super Bowl is a big thing, and it's coming up. We're getting inquiries from companies before they go out and spend $3 million for a 30-second ad. They want to make sure that their web operations are ready to handle the traffic. So we'll simulate and mimic the traffic to give them a sense of where some of the bottlenecks are, where some of the challenges are, so that they can make those fixes before they before they go live with a particular ad or particular infrastructure.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. I don't want to keep you. I know you're a busy guy. It's been great talking to you. Thanks for being on WHIR TV. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate it.